Imagine a plant that doesn't just thrive on sunlight and water, but also devours insects. Yes, carnivorous plants are real and they're spectacularly eerie. These remarkable organisms have evolved in nutrient-poor environments such as bogs and rocky areas, where the soil is low in essential nutrients like nitrogen. To survive and grow, they've adapted to lure, capture, and digest unwitting prey, primarily insects. This alternative feeding strategy allows them to thrive in places where other plants would barely survive. Now, let's delve deeper into the world of these fascinating meat-eating plants. Carnivorous plants come in various shapes and sizes, each with its unique method of trapping prey. Let's delve into some of the most fascinating types. First on the list is the iconic Venus flytrap, known for its dramatic snapping jaws. This plant lures insects with its nectar, then swiftly closes its leaves to trap the prey, initiating digestion. Next, we explore the world of pitcher plants. These plants have evolved leaves that form deep cavities filled with digestive liquids. Insects attracted by the plant's vibrant colors and sweet scent slip on the pitcher's slippery inner surface, falling into the liquid where they are digested. Moving on to sundews, which possess sticky, glandular tentacles. These dew-like droplets not only attract but also ensnare insects. Once an insect is caught, nearby tentacles curl around it, securing the prey for digestion. Lastly, the bladderworts, which are aquatic or semi-aquatic. They use bladder-like traps to suck in tiny water-dwelling creatures. These bladders create a vacuum that, when triggered, rapidly engulfs the prey. Each of these plants has evolved a specialized mechanism to capture and digest their unsuspecting prey. How exactly do these plants catch their meals? Let's explore their cunning traps. Starting with the Venus flytrap, this plant is like a botanical bear trap. Each leaf on the Venus flytrap features two lobes that form a jaw-like appearance. At the heart of its mechanism are tiny, sensitive structures known as trigger hairs. When an unsuspecting insect contacts these hairs, not once, but twice, it triggers a rapid snapping motion that closes the lobes, ensnaring the prey. The edges of the lobes then seal tightly to digest the insect, a process that can take about 10 days. Moving on to the pitcher plants, these are quite the deceptive beauties. They lure insects with their vivid colors and the promise of sweet nectar. Once an insect lands on the slippery rim known as the peristome, it's all but guaranteed to tumble into the deep, watery grave below. Inside, the walls are coated with a slick, waxy substance that prevents any hope of escape, leading the insect to drown and eventually be digested by enzymes. Next, let's talk about sundews. These plants employ a more sticky approach. Each leaf is covered in tiny, glandular hairs that produce a glistening, sticky substance. This dewy secretion not only attracts insects but also ensnares them. As the insect struggles, additional nearby tentacles curl around the prey, securing it for digestion. Lastly, the bladderworts, which operate underwater, use suction traps. These small bladder-like structures have a trapdoor that is kept under negative pressure. When tiny aquatic creatures touch the trigger hairs near the door, it springs open, sucking the prey into the bladder where they are digested. These mechanisms are not just about trapping, but ensuring the plant can digest and absorb nutrients efficiently. Carnivorous plants are not just randomly scattered around the globe. They thrive in very specific habitats. These unique plants are most commonly found in areas where the soil is poor in nutrients, particularly nitrogen, such as bogs, swamps, and rocky uplands. These environments are challenging for most plants, but carnivorous species have turned to a different source to meet their nutritional needs. They consume insects and other small organisms. Across the continents, from the foggy heathlands of Australia to the pine barrens of New Jersey, these plants have adapted to their harsh environments in remarkable ways. In the tropical rainforests of South America, carnivorous plants capture nutrients not just from insects but from falling debris and even waste from tree-dwelling animals. Meanwhile, in the cold, nutrient-poor peat bogs of northern Europe, species like the sundew lure, capture, and digest their prey with sticky, glandular leaves. These adaptations are not just about survival. They represent an incredible evolutionary leap. Adaptation to these harsh environments is key to the survival of carnivorous plants, making them a spectacular example of evolutionary innovation. From the snapping jaws of the Venus flytrap to the deceptive depths of pitcher plants, Carnivorous plants showcase nature's ingenuity. These fascinating flora have adapted to nutrient-poor environments by evolving to capture and digest prey, primarily insects, to satisfy their nutritional needs. We've explored several types of carnivorous plants, each with its own distinctive method of ensnaring its meals. From the sticky, gland-covered leaves of sundews that ensnare insects upon contact, to the underwater traps of the bladderworts, which suck in unsuspecting prey with rapid speed. Their habitats are as varied as their trapping mechanisms, thriving in bogs, rainforests, and even arid deserts across the globe. Each species has fine-tuned its features to effectively dominate its specific environment, demonstrating a remarkable example of evolutionary adaptation. These remarkable plants remind us of the complexity and wonder of the natural world, constantly adapting in the most extraordinary ways to survive.